Fighting broke out today as the head leaders of the Egyptian Union disagreed about how to best proceed forward after this devastating war.
Leaks are reporting that the Egyptian Union is actually bankrupt after the war.
Right behind me now, they're all standing in the street. They're holding hands, and they're forcing the KU tanks to stop. Today at Ramahas City, the Egyptian Union's capital, a type of curfew has been enforced upon its citizens.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Allied Nations.
Members of the Alliance, today, at 0730 hours Eastern Standard Time, the Egyptian Union has disbanded. The Alliance has pledged to give aid to the people of Egypt in this time of great uncertainty.
When its allies backed out on them completely, the economic strain was far too great, and the Egyptian Union was no more. Skirmishes and fighting broke out all over the country. The strong preyed on the weak. Families were forced to leave their homes. It was complete anarchy. The Alliance did what it could to bring order and aid to the fragmented governments that were left. And out of the ashes, nations would arise. The Republic of Qassad, a people looking for alliance recognition and membership someday, so that they too can grow and prosper in the future. The Nubian kingdoms. They wanted to stay an independent nation, but considered the alliance as a friend, opening up free trade to any nation that wanted it. But now, another nation would arise. It was the concentrated military remnants of the old Egyptian Union. Ruled by a council of warlords, they would call themselves the New Egyptian Empire. In the chaos, they would strike while the metal of confusion was still hot, taking key military locations and resources to add to their nation's growth. At first, the Nubian kingdoms would try and hold them back, but their military technology was leftovers from the old KU. They were no match for the NKE new superweapons. Realizing that their neighbors were losing ground at an alarming rate, the Republic of Qassad rushed to their aid. With the support of the Alliance's resources behind them, the two nations were able to take back some of their lands and hold their ground against the onslaught of the Empire. With the development of the new King Sky heavy class transport, the Alliance would send food, medicine, fuel, and ammunition to the new struggling nations. After the Empire was stopped from expanding any further, the final boundaries were drawn for the new nations of the world. The Empire, not willing to make the same mistake of its former KU glory, backed down, calling a ceasefire to its conquest. As the world settled back down, the Alliance would continue its space operations. The new freighter needed a rebuild to allow it to transport larger moon-based structures. And after the incident with the shuttlecraft, there was no longer a need for a moon shuttle refueling port. So it would be emptied out and returned to Kerbin to be repurposed. The Atlas had never been used this way before, so no one knew if it was even going to work. After the success of returning the freighter and its payload back to Kerbin, the nations of the world would sit down and design an orbital platform unlike any other. The Starway Station would be the largest, most expensive station ever built. It would be the first orbital platform in history to be considered the world's station. The Starway Station would house multiple vehicles, large and small. It would also serve as a platform to build larger interplanetary ships. The plan now was to get as much science as possible from the moons of Kerbin. Minmus was still largely untapped for its scientific potential, and there was still plenty of places on the moon itself where science was still to be discovered. A new age for Kerbal kind was about to dawn.